guys, you're back for part 2. Okay, just in case you missed it or you decided you didn't need help on the first 3 pages, we are now going to be on page, let me pull my thing up. Page, 34. Okay, and I want to remind you that in the past little video that we found out who Nazu was, Kashmi was. We found out what was causing the earthquakes, but we haven't had a solution to it yet. So in the next 3 pages, we're going to find our solution. So we're going to go ahead and start reading. He is the sword god and must visit his shrines, someone else added. So we're going to pause for a second. Shrines are like the place that people leave offerings or like food or stuff, and it was a way for them to help visit their own gods. Okay? Let's go back. The baker said, Kashmi is the only god who can protect us from Nazu. After a long moment, the artist stepped forward. He set down his bag of tools. I will go. I will ask Kashmi for help. The artist heard people talking about his bravery as he left the square, but he didn't feel very brave. He was only doing what he felt was necessary, and he was scared. The artist went to the dojo to find Kashmi. The god was in the shrine, listening to prayers and accepting offerings. There was a long line that wrapped around the buildings. The artist stood in the back and waited his turn. As he moved closer to where the god sat, his knees began to shake. A bead of nervous sweat formed on the artist's forehead. He had never spoken to a god directly before. He did not know what to expect. Would the god listen to his request and offer assistance? Or would the god laugh and send him away in shame? A woman left the dojo crying. A man walked by smiling. A child came out of the shrine carrying a bag of gold coins. A young couple emerged, arms wrapped happily around each other. When the artist reached the front of the line, he was terrified to be in such a mighty presence. His words felt thick in his throat as he explained about Nazu and the earthquakes. Kashmi immediately understood the importance of the artist's plea. He announced, I will go and speak to Nazu. Grateful and filled with hope, the artist accompanied the god to the seashore and sat down on a decaying dock. He would wait there until Kashmi returned. Kashmi descended under the sea and found Nazu resting in his lair. I have come on behalf of the people of Japan, Kashmi told the fish. The earthquakes are destroying their towns. Buildings are unsafe. People are getting hurt. It would be against my nature as a fish not to shake my tail, Nazu said. Okay, we're going to pause here for a second. So why is it against Nazu's nature to not shake his tail? Why does he have to do it? Okay, let's move on to the next page. We're on page 35. You can choose to control yourself, Kashmi said. You must avoid hitting the bottom of the sea. Stop making trouble for the island. No, Nazu laughed. I won't. I like smacking my tail on the bottom of the sea. I like it when the earth shakes. You are putting the island in danger. He raised his sword and demanded, no more earthquakes. The fish replied with a laugh. Ha ha ha. Kashmi pinned Nazu's tail to the ground with 2 long blades. The fish gave a mighty roar and, with a great thrust of his body, broke free. You cannot stop me, Nazu declared. Watch this, Kashmi. I can make small tremors. He wiggled his tail and the land above shivered. Or large earthquakes that will destroy entire cities. Nazu raised his tail, ready to show Kashmi his power and destructive force. Kashmi looked quickly around. Swords were a mighty weapon, but not solid enough to hold the monster fish. He needed something bigger, stronger, and heavier. Near the lair, Kashmi found what he needed. I have promised to help the people of Japan, Kashmi told Nazu. With a mighty roar, Kashmi leapt on the great catfish's back. It was well known that Kashmi was not only the sword god and the god of martial arts, but he was also an expert at sumo, the Japanese sport of wrestling. The god and fish wrestled, rolling over and over, creating a storm of sand along the ocean floor and a torrent of waves up above. There will always be earthquakes, the fish declared. We're going to pause here for a second. Did you guys notice another context clue? One that gave a definition? Okay, let's finish up on page 36. Not while I'm here. Raising a giant rock off the ocean floor, Kashmi thrusted the rock onto Nazu's back. With all his might, the catfish tried to get out from under the stone, but he could not free himself. Exhausted, Nazu lowered his tail in defeat. He was trapped, unable to create the small earthquake or even a tiny water wave. With Nazu safely imprisoned, Kashu rose to the surface of the water and met the young artist at the shore. It is done, Kashmi announced. Thank you. The artist said. He gave the god an offering of fruit and flowers. People of Indo came to the dock to sing Kashmi's praises. I will stay below the ocean and make sure that Nazu doesn't break free, Kashmi told the people. But I cannot watch him every minute of every day. There are times I must visit my shrine and accept my offerings. Kashmi tilted his head towards a fishing boat that floated in the harbor. When I am gone, Ishbi, the god of fishermen, will protect the city. Ishbi is known to fall asleep on the job, the young artist reminded the god in a whisper. True, it has happened before. Kashmi considered the problem. He looked out to the ocean toward the spot where Nazu was secured under the rock. To the artist, he said, You must create an earthquake warning system. Design an image of Nazu and tell people to place it on road signs throughout Japan. It is important that people know what to do if Nazu wishes his tail. I will begin the artwork right away, the young artist assured Kashmi with a quick bow. Kashmi bowed low to the men and women of Indo and then turned and disappeared into the sea. Okay, so my last question is towards the ending here. Kashmi bowed low to the men and women of Indo and then turned and disappeared in the sea. Why do you think he bowed? And remember, there's not any right or wrong answer, but if you can support it with text, then that means you understood the text. Thank you guys. Have a good day.